Alright, YouTube. So, I've noticed like a lot of guys when they watch like welding videos and stuff, they're always curious about like, how people have their rigs set up. So I've been doing some portable welding for a little bit now, and I'm going to show you how I have my rig set up to start out. This is not by any means the best rig you have ever seen. This is literally just what you need to get by starting out. I also have a trailer that I'm using as well, but for those of you starting out, this is pretty much what you absolutely need. Everything else you can pretty much just acquire along the way. So yeah, let's get into it, man. Alright, so we're gonna start off with everything I have in the bed of this truck. So you'll see the front of this is just a bunch of scrap metal, some scrap wood, and some other random doodads that gotta go in the trash. The back of this truck is where the money's at. It's just a Lincoln Weld Pack 180 HD. It's a Mig Welder, it can do flux core. You can do aluminum MIG welding. I have the solid wire in it right now, and I have the gas for that. I'll show you where that is in a second, but it can be swapped out at any time pretty much. I don't need to carry this, but I've been doing a lot of MIG welding lately. I got this generator here. It's just a rigid, here you can see, 8500 starting watts or intermittent, whatever you call them, and then 6800 running or continuous watts. It's got 4 plugs on the front of this. They're 120 volt, 20 amps. So you can run a 120 amp welder. This is 220, but they make the smaller one, which is 140. You can actually run that off of this generator and then, upgrade your welder as you go. It's also got this 120/240 30 amp machine or outlet. I have a cord set up so that it can run the welders here. In the back here, I got a Hobart stick mate. That's the LX 235 AC 160 DC. It does pretty good. I don't normally have a problem running it off of this generator here. If you want, you can even get longer leads, and just the two of these together, man, you got yourself a portable welder. So let's move up to the front here of the bed, and in front of the generator I got my gas can. You never know when you're going to need that. Again, scrap metal. This cord here is actually what I use to plug into the generator and then run the welders. I've got even more of this, not on the truck at the moment, so if I have to go, I think I can go like 100 feet away from the truck, or 100 feet away from the generator I should say, and start welding. Again, scrap metal. And then over there's my tool bag. It's got some hammers, wire brushes, squares, screwdrivers, pliers, air tools, things like that, some marking utensils, and then I got my stub bucket. This is just to weight it down. Came off of a lamp I got for scrap. Then I got a chain and a splitting maul up under there. I don't generally use them for welding, but you know, sometimes you got to. And then we're gonna open up this toolbox here, and I got a wooden thing that I made to hold all the grinder wheels. I got 4.5 inch up here and 7 inch down there, and then that's this side of it. This is just an air hose with a regulator on it, and the end to connect to the Mig Welder, so I can go like, I think it's like 50 feet away from the air tank with the Mig Welder. Then over here on this side, I got a little divider here, and this is just clamps and just empty spool guns, some magnets, and a can of spray paint. Close that up. Open this one up. Over here on this side, I got my jackets, some electrical cords, my welding leads for the Mig Welder, which is not on here at the moment, that's on the trailer. Again, this is a wooden box that we made to divide everything up. I got some pipe wrenches up there. The middle is just a random catch-all. We'll go through that in a moment here. Then I got just some random bolts that were left over from a project. An angle finder, 2 angle finders actually, a small level, a welding cap, and then one of these fancy, I don't know what you call it, but you just stick it on there, and you know, you find your lines. I haven't had to use that yet, but it's on here. Put that back. So now I'll take a walk over to this other side. Oh, I got across here, I got a level, big 4-foot level, and some aluminum angle iron at the moment. So we're gonna go crawl over this way, pop up in here. So now you can see the inside of the box. Else all over here, that's just the wire and the jackets. Over here on this side, I got some acetone, some hearing protectors, a hammer, some ratchet straps, a thing of wrenches, and some oil. That's pretty much it for in there. Over here on this side, I got my welding hood, like 2 7-inch grinders and about 3 4.5-inch grinders that I normally use, and then one that I found, I don't even know where it came from. The Milwaukee is just there. They all run on DC. They're all DeWalt's in that one Milwaukee, and the reason why I use them is because I run a Lincoln SA200, and it puts out pure DC power, so I have to have grinders that run on DC, so that's just what I use. I got some, you know, my drills, the battery powered drills and screw gun over there, some drill bits there, tape measure, some finishing screws and a screwdriver, ratchet strap, and some spare fuses. And that's pretty much it for the back of this thing, man. Like, most jobs you're gonna get, you can get by with just what I got in here. Now let's walk around to the front and I'll show you what's in the cab. All right, so this is up in the cab. It's nothing fancy. It's kind of messy, but it gets the job done. On the dash, I just got gloves and the respirators, a calculator, and some stuff. This is where I keep my shielding gas for the Mig Welder. Keep that there. Got a hard hat, got a safety vest, some more gloves, a multimeter, a little rotatey light, just some water, and then a box of 7018. Is this the best place for rods right now? Probably not, but it works for now. Then I got my battery and the charger here. Eventually I want to get another toolbox so I can throw a whole bunch of rods in the truck. But this works for now. And then behind the seat, I got this little box here, and I got some stainless rods, some what do you want to call them? Hard facing rods. And then I got some 6011 in here as well. They don't have a can. It's just where they're at in case I need to run them off that Hobart. Most of my rods are in the trailer, but that's what I carry on me in case of emergencies. And on the floor I just got some hammers and a hatchet. So now most of you are probably wondering, you know, like what kind of truck I use. It's an F-250. It's a 99. It's old, it's rusty. You know, it's about to fall apart here soon. You know, you gotta fill the oil and check the gas. You know, it's one of them ones. The oil, like I said, it's pretty rusty and rotted out. This whole thing's about to go. It's nothing to, you know, write home about. But starting out, it gets the job done, you know. You don't need a $100,000 welding rig starting out. So now most of you probably wonder, you know, how well does this Hobart actually run off the generator? So for those of you disbelievers, you know, thinking you need a $5,000 welding machine starting out, I'm gonna hook this up and you can see for yourself how well it works. You know, would you want a better welder? Probably, you know, but if you already have one of these, you know, just make it work, man. I probably would recommend, if you're getting your very first welder, start out with the it's like the Hobart generator welder. It's kind of about this size, maybe a little bit bigger. It's like the Champion 145. I would recommend starting out with something like that versus this, because you can do more with that welder. You don't have to take this. It's like 80 pounds. Every time I gotta use it, I gotta like carry it everywhere. I only got like 15 feet of leads. I could lengthen them, I just haven't gotten around to it yet. Mostly because I got a bigger welder. This is just my backup. But starting out, like, this is pretty much all I was using. So let's fire this thing up and show you how it welds off the generator here. All right, man, so we're set up. We got the cord out. I didn't even unravel it. We're just gonna do everything on the tailgate of the truck here. What I'm gonna do is I got a 3/32 70/18, and then I got a hard facing rod. The hard facing rod is 1/8 inch. I guess it's a Royal 240. I don't know. Yeah, we're gonna run it. It's just some scrap piece of plate we got right there. I got the wire wheel hooked up. So I'm gonna fire up the generator, fire up the Hobart, run some 70/18 3/32 inch. We're gonna run like 2 or 3 passes, just short little ones. I'm gonna do a close-up of the wattage gauge here on the generator so you can see how many watts I'm pulling. I'll probably put that like split screen, and then I'm gonna go over that with the hard face. Just do a short little pass with that, and then we're gonna wrap this up. All right, YouTube. So that's what I ran right there. Right there. I did 2 passes with 70/18 Lincoln Excalibur. 2 passes, 1, 2, and then I did 1 with the 1/8 inch hard face. I mostly just did that because I had a damaged rod and I had to use it up on some scrap and not something, a customer project, you know. So I don't know, I didn't see like I never taken notice to the wattage thing on this when I'm running the stick welder, but I know when you run flux core 030, the most you can get, the most you're going to use is about like 2,500 watts. My chop saw is around like 1,300 to 1,700. This thing here is about like 400 to 600. So you know, this generator for me is more than enough. You're not gonna get any like big, I mean, like, you're not gonna go pipeline in with this setup, but just starting out doing some farm stuff, man, this will get you by. So don't go blowing your money on no big fancy machine just starting out. Just, you know, use what you can. I would prefer to have the Hobart Champion 145 on here as opposed to this, because then I could just have one machine and not have to take that everywhere. But yeah, this works out, man. So if this is helping you decide what you want to do starting out, just hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. You know, there might be more welding videos coming up. If you look at other videos on my channel, I use this setup pretty extensively. So, you know, just check it out, man. See ya.